to Interstate Lanes, new home for BCSN Summer Bowling Classic. First up tonight in the team portion of the show, we continue with the first week of the second half. Plus, of course, as usual, we will have our King of the Hill stepladder competition. BCSN Summer Bowling Classic, as always, brought to you by Interstate Lanes. I'm Steve Ronquist, alongside six-time PBA National Tournament champion and Hall of Famer Don Janello. And we are getting ready for the battle between Virtual PC and the Dalmatians. So leading things off for Virtual PC will be John Baringer. Baringer comes in with a 181 average, shot 208, 164 in his first two games tonight, as he will take on George Williams.
Looks like he struggled with the transition a little bit the second game, and see if he can get it figured out here. Yeah, I found. And John starts out with a strike.
Exactly the way you want to start things off. George Williams will try and find the Brooklyn side to find his first strike. Not going to work. George comes in with his 177 average, 217, 194 his first two games. He'll be getting 3 pins from Mr. Baringer.
Straight down the right side.
And an easy spare for George Williams. So he will head over to the left-hand lane for the first time in front of the cameras this year.
George, big, tall gentleman, likes to use very little of the approach. Stands way up on the approach. And
I don't even
Brooklyn
know.
Again.
Barely
All right.
gets the strike. I don't even know if you can call that a 3-step approach. It's almost more like a 2.5.
Yeah, it kind of shuffles on the middle there. So this ball a little left of target. Goes Brooklyn. The head pin kind of rolls around. Rolls out to 5 and a 9.
So on the right-hand lane, Baringer will see if he can find a strike, and he does. Got a little bit of help on that 10 pin.
This team comes in having finished 7th in the first half, so they're definitely in the hunt. They're hoping to keep going here. By my count, it's virtually a split between the first two games, so they're looking for a big game to stay up there.
John says never started bowling until age 45. He doesn't look like he's older than 45. Got my brownie points in for the day.
Yeah, really. But, gonna go high.
Ooh,
and,
leaves the baby on the left-hand lane.
I was gonna say he's a coach of one of the high school teams, and of course I went brain dead and can't remember which high school team it was. I want to.
TTA maybe?
I cannot remember. I was thinking St. Francis, but that's, is that Ken Konoff?
Ken Konoff, yes indeed it is. Well, I'm going to go out on the limb and say that seeing as Mark Polacek Jr., who will be bowling in the second game, who bowls for TTA.
There's your probably the connection.
I'll put the connection together.
Outside maybe?
And
nope,
quite. Chopped it off, unfortunately. George Williams back to the right-hand lane.
He's been Brooklyn on each of the first two shots.
Put that one absolutely right dead in the pocket. No doubt about that. 10 of them went flying backwards. So a A spare and a couple of strikes to start things off for George Williams. Started bowling at age 12, 221 high average all time, 797 high series. Can he find the turkey early? He sure can. So George Williams has it dialed in early on here in our first game of the day.
So we watch this get the 5 out, everything else falls back. Now John's got to do a little digging here.
Open in the third did not help his cause a whole heck of a lot, but
No.
started with a couple of strikes. Very much would expect him to be able to find the shot again. This one looks pretty good. Kicks out the 10 pin. So right back on the strike train.
Nice shot there, nice follow through. Rooting it in. Ball drove enough to get the 5 into the 8. The 6 did its job.
I like it when everybody does what they're supposed to do down there. Makes life a lot easier for everybody.
Good teamwork by the Pins.
Yeah. Had to have that meeting before any kind of action down there. Get everybody on the same page. John looking for his second double of the game, and he's got it.
Nice bookends.
Yep. Had that little baby split in the middle of a couple of doubles. Good looking shot right here. There, everybody does what they're supposed to do again.
Little point.
Got the point indeed. Meanwhile, George Williams with the turkey working. Can he find a 4-bagger right here? No!
Pins are bouncing around. I thought something was going to get it.
Wow.
Ball change for the spare. He'll move all the way over to the left. Keep sliding ball. There we go.
And it did. So spare for George Williams. Some help. No, not on the 7 pin. So leaves a 10 pin. Now he leaves a 7 pin.
As long as we don't see them left together like we did last night.
That was just crazy.
Two excellent shots there. He could have a 5-bagger, but corner pins weren't playing nice.
Nope, sure weren't. He has been pretty close on every first shot, looking to convert the spare in the 6th, and he does. So far, George Williams has kept it full through the first 6. John Baringer looking to disrupt his pattern that he has going. A double, had an open, and a double. Stop the pattern right here.
Got a chance.
It looks pretty good, and he got the mixer to go. Left 3 of them. Oh, now only 1 on the deck. Had 3 of them sitting up there for a moment.
Thought we might get our first Glenn Tanner there.
No. I had that when I was just on the tip of my tongue, and
we were all set, and then a couple of them rolled off.
Yeah.
See the mixing action there.
We were looking for an escape. So any way you look at it, turkey working for Baringer. See if he can find a 4-bagger right here. .184 high average all time for John. .690 high series. Looking for number 4 right here. Looks pretty good. He's got it. Looking to put himself back into the game right here.
This ball's a little bit further right, but rolled up nice and strong. Got the 5 out. We were asking these players if they wanted to take their shadow balls before, because they get 2 shots in each lane. And George said, no, I'm ready. And John said, it'll just confuse me even more, so I'm going.
Meanwhile, George Williams, wasting absolutely no time, steps up and throws another strike.
So I guess John knew what he was talking about.
Yeah, indeed.
Didn't want to waste him in shadow balls.
221 high average all time for George Williams, 797 high series. Says he's done just about everything in the world of bowling except get that elusive 800 series. Finding another double. Yeah, there's a blaster. These two guys are going crazy once we turn the lights on.
Let's see if John can keep going here.
Yeah, looking for the fast 5 right here to set up the setup frame. Can he find one more here in the 8th?
Looks good. He likes it.
Sure. Oh, maybe just a little bit tight. Not quite the angle of the 4 that preceded it.
Ball change for the spare. Go cross alley. Nice shot.
Absolutely took care of that little piece of business. Got a pretty good battle going on between these two guys.
A little bit of a struggle the second game, but they're rebounding nicely.
Baringer looking to set up the 10th, see if he can hop back on the strike train right here. By day, John, the owner of the sponsor of the team, Virtual PCs. A Pete Weber fan is.
Uh-oh, hold on.
He pulled it big time. Ouch. And that is going to hurt on the spare.
Yes. That one got away from him somehow. Now, the only good news here is this is just a pocket shot. Just throw your first ball. Like you said, big loss in pin count there.
Yeah, especially with George Williams on the double. It's going to hurt right here. Needs to pick up the spare. Like you said, just throw your first shot and you should be okay.
There
and he is. So a spare working as he will head into the 10th frame.
Nice comeback.
Sometimes that stuff just happens. George Williams, a Norm Duke fan.
Not a bad way to go.
No,
Brooklyn.
And he's got another Brooklyn. Doesn't matter which side for Mr. Williams. He'll take him on the left. He'll take him on the right.
Just see the pins bouncing around down there.
He's got at least 2 of the boroughs covered in New York. He likes the Manhattan side and he likes the Brooklyn side.
And Brooklyn again.
And he'll cover in the 10th frame. First shot for the 4-bagger. George says, if you're going to give me the opening, I'm going to walk through it. His 7th strike of the game. See if he can find number 5 right here. And he does. 5 in a row. As he looks to take it off the sheet. He says, I don't need those stinking 3 pins.
Big game. Possible 258 here.
Yep, 258 actual. Another strike puts him at 261 with his +3. One more to take it off the sheet, and he wraps the 10-pin. Seen that a time or two. So with his 3 pins, shoots a 260 game, does George Williams, by far his best game of the day. 257 actual. Thank you very much. John now looking to get as many pins as he can to keep it as close as he can for the team total. Got that one way outside, and oh, it just never came back.
That hurts big time for the team count. Wasn't going to win the point, but another big loss of pin count and almost impossible spare. 2, 4, 8, 10. Try to get the ball to the left of the 2. Try to slide it into the 10 and then hope the 4 takes out the 8.
Got a lot of variables working against you down there.
This is a very tough shot. Just take the 3 and hope. And no bounce.
Did get the 3. So 203 actual game for John Baringer. Comes up a little bit short against the buzzsaw known as George Williams. Williams gets the win in game number 1, 260 to 203. We're going to step aside. It'll be Mark Palachek Jr. taking on Brandon Thompson when we return to Interstate Lanes.
Being prepared is a part of who you are, but it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you. Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
The Italian Football League is back on BCSN, your exclusive source for all the action. Watch as teams fight for their ticket to play in the Italian Bowl this July in Toledo. We'll kick off every broadcast with game analysis plus news from around the league. Get ready for the Italian Bowl, Saturday, July 1st at 3 p.m. as Firenze Guelfi take on the Parma Panthers. Brought to you by Contrada and Associates. In a car crash, don't say or sign anything. Call Charlie Contrada, your local car accident lawyer.
I sat down for an omakase experience at Kango Sushi in Yakitori. Chef Kango took me through a nearly hour-long journey as he rolled item after item, and I hung on his every word while taste-testing cuisine that melted in my mouth. To be able to share these experiences with viewers and hopefully inspire them to take food adventures themselves, that's why I love what I do. Well, that and the free food.